back to Critical Flick. Today we're going to be talking about the Imagineering Story on Disney+.
So this is one of our most anticipated things that was launching with the platform. We absolutely love the Disney park, specifically Disney World, and I really want to see the behind the scenes stuff, see the creation, maybe some of the things we've never seen before.
Yeah, I was really excited for this program because I am obsessed with Walt Disney World, and I wanted to see what was in Walt's mind creating these parks.
Yeah, when you go back and you see the humble beginnings of how Walt started his ideas for the original Disneyland, seeing all these really, really cool archival footage and some firsthand accounts, I think that's something that sets this individual docuseries apart from other things. Because we watch stuff like Defunct Land and Yesterworld and things like that, but you don't get that personal touch of people who were really there.
Yeah, you get all this behind the scene footage you've never seen before, especially when they touch on in the second episode about Walt Disney World and them constructing it. The underground part that everybody talks about and how the inner workings and how they created this super massive structure.
See, that's the thing that sets this docuseries apart. There's two main points that you can't accomplish without having Disney's backing is you have all these interviews with the original Imagineers, some of the original artists, some archival footage of Walt and Roy and just the actual construction and creation of these parks. And then you also get to see the behind the scenes stuff that you wouldn't normally see, things that you don't see leaked all the time online, like the utilidors and the behind the scenes of the parks. It's just really cool how they're able to share that with it.
I found it really interesting watching this. This is from the first two episodes, how far in advance Disney was on creating their parks. Like, they were just ahead of a lot of people's times just on like mega structures that they built.
Yeah, it wasn't just about entertainment. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes with Disney as far as technology where they were pushing the envelope and they were taking these large risks on things that most people wouldn't do. Now, they talk a lot about Epcot and Disney World in general, how they built these structures and city planning that had never been accomplished on such a grand scale. So it's really interesting seeing that aspect of it. You just think of Disney as an entertainment thing. You don't think of the actual infrastructure and the work that goes into building these basically towns in their own right.
Yeah, and basically how both parks, Disneyland and Disney World, were being built and being finished up to the day they opened. They talk about in the second episode in Disney World that they had helicopters flying above the one area in Tomorrowland to make sure the pavement was dry enough and cool enough. And it's just crazy how down to the wire they were building these parks.
And that's another aspect of this docuseries that makes it really interesting is it does have an entertainment value to it. There's always the worry when you watch a documentary that it can be a little dry, you're just getting a lot of information, you're not absorbed in it unless you are super interested like we are, but you get a lot of funny little stories from the people that were there, and you get to see the human element of this construction. You don't see just the numbers, the figures, the timeline, you see the individual people. And that's something that's a string throughout the series, is that Disney World means a lot to people. It's not just this money-making machine. While it does do that, you see the passion that these people had for these projects.
In the first two episodes of this docuseries, you see the large amount of Walt's influence with everybody and how much he was like the threshold into everything and building these parks and what's the next move and the next step. And at times it got emotional because during Walt's passing, everybody was talking about that time, and it was really hard on them because they didn't know what direction they were going to go, but they knew in the back of their mind that they had to persevere and follow Walt's mission.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like a lot of people have a lot of ideas about Walt Disney and who he was, but I like seeing these firsthand accounts of people that worked with him and dealt with him, and you see just his passion and drive to succeed and create something new and push other people to just explore the bounds of what can be done. I mean, there's a point where they talk about, they want to keep pushing it further and further. As soon as people can figure out how it's done and they understand it, they want to push it to another level. They're never satisfied and they're always growing, and that's something that Walt instilled in these people that they try to continue even today, is just trying to push forward. It's never stopped, it's never done, the work always continues. So one of the really cool things that you learn watching the documentary is just how everyone had different roles in this company. Having WED be created just to create these ridiculous feats of engineering and ingenuity. And it's cool seeing all these little stories of these classic rides that I've enjoyed every time I've gone down there. Just seeing actually how they created Madame Leota and her influence and how she was made. And you have Leota tombs in the way they use facial mapping on a model. You just don't even think about that. And you're seeing this little backstory and this little piece of history and how it continues even today. Just seeing the creation of these iconic things is just so cool.
So I'm really excited for the third episode of this docuseries. I just find this whole series intriguing and exciting to learn about.
Yeah, it's been my favorite thing to watch on Disney Plus so far. I love documentaries in general, and I love Disney World. And I was interested to see how they were going to take these kind of iconic things that a lot of people know a lot about already. Like, we obviously watch tons of YouTube videos about it. You talk to people in the parks about it, take behind the scenes tours, but getting to see it all laid out for you with the people that were really there and just seeing their passion, their emotion, seeing that archival footage of the models and every little intricacy that went into building all these parks, like the behind the scenes stuff. It's just so interesting for someone who is a fan of Disney World. And if you're a fan of the Disney parks, I definitely would recommend checking it out. If you've ever even been slightly interested in knowing the creation and how it was all done, it's just all laid out for you.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below what has been your favorite part thus far in this series. Are you like, what do you want to learn more about? And always remember to like and subscribe. We always appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.